I have a big beautiful slab of silver maple. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it. A river table of some sort. The bark needs to come off of that. So that actually took a long time, but I'm left with a beautiful edge. I definitely misused my scribe to clean up some of the knot holes and cracks. This was exciting. It's the maiden voyage of my new track saw. I plugged it in for the first time and made 3 passes, increasing the depth each time to split my slab. Cut 1, cut number 2, and cut number 3, the final cut. That said, very happy with the performance of the track saw. I took a few measurements, 1 or 2, well actually 3, then got the track saw back out. Using the same 3-cut method, I cut the slabs to 60 inches each. Not as beautiful as the bald spot I noticed in the previous clip, but beautiful. Okay, so my slabs are cut in half, and this is pretty close to what I think my final layout's going to be and what I'm going to build my mold around. And then it'll be trimmed, obviously, after the epoxy's cured, so it's time to build a mold. So to make this mold, I'm going to be using just particle board. It should be fine. I've used it before. I've got Tyvek tape here, and I'm going to start putting it together. I'm going to put Tyvek tape all along the bottom and all over the sides that are laying around here. I'll put the slabs in there to make sure everything fits. Then I'm going to clean everything up, clean my shop, and start getting ready for an epoxy pour, which I do hope to do tonight. I blew as much of the sawdust off the slabs as I could, and then wiped it down with mineral spirits, put it outside to dry. Okay, so I didn't film a whole lot of putting the mold together. So I've got a mold. My slabs are cut down to a rough size. I am going to clean my whole shop. I'm going to vacuum everything up, sweep, vacuum, probably do that a time or two. Then I'll blow the remaining out the garage. As long as I don't get called into work, I'm on call. I'm going to pour this probably right before dark. Well, I got called into work, so I'm not going to get the pour tonight, but I did get home and have enough time to seal the edges. So I've got the edges sealed, and I'm still considering doing a pour tonight. So I'm gonna wax the bed here and get the slabs in here, get them clamped up, and I'm going to do a volume measurement. I'm gonna have to do it in 2 pours. I might pour it tonight, my first pour. As you can see, I'm gonna do my first pour. Here we go, first pour. So my first pour went pretty well. It's gonna definitely need another pour, and then might even need a little bit more after that. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it out here for 20 or 30 minutes and make sure nothing leaks. It shouldn't. I went overkill on sealing this thing, but we'll give it a few minutes, burn the air bubbles off. Just a waiting game at this point. All right, so I'm getting ready for pour number 2. This probably is not going to fill me up, but it's going to get us really close. There we go. The pour went well. All right, 7 days. It's been 7 days since I poured this. I'm gonna get it out of clamps, out of the mold, and start working on getting my sled ready and getting this thing flat. I did over pour it slightly. I thought I had it perfect, but it spilled over. It's not that bad. It looks on camera probably a lot worse than it is. It's just a very, very thin film. So I've got one side flattened. That took 3 passes. My flattening bit is starting to get pretty dull. It started to get a little jerky there towards the end. I've got a wicked big mess. I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up and flatten the other side tomorrow. I've got a family party to go to tonight. moving right along. I'm gonna get this thing sanded, not a final sand, maybe up to 120 grit, and then I gotta fill a couple little holes and cracks, which I hope to do tonight, so I can probably finish sand it tomorrow or here pretty soon, but we're gonna get sanding. So I didn't film much of it, but this is finished sanded. What I'm gonna do now, and I went back and forth between putting a round over or chamfering the edges, or both. Ultimately I decided a 1/4 inch round over on both sides. That's what I'm going to do now. My legs, just doing steel legs, they should be here tomorrow. And we'll have this thing wrapped up pretty soon. If you're still with me, leave me a comment and let me know if you think I should have done the round over or the chamfer, a combination of both, or maybe something different. I hand sanded the round over and we'll be back soon, fitting the legs and putting some finish on here. I got the legs adjusted where I thought they looked the best, and then drilled some holes for some thread inserts. I'm now ready for some finish work. I cleaned the top with mineral spirits. Once dry, I applied some Rubio Monocoat Pure. I buffed the Rubio in, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then wiped it off. I installed the threaded inserts, put the legs on, and check out this table.